Yo, what's up everybody, FornaTRON here, and today we're going to be talking about why Armored Core 6 is going to be amazing and you don't even know it yet. Let's get into it. I've seen a lot of people over the time when Armored Core 6 got announced and then some of the trailers got released. I see a lot of common comments, and a lot of the comments that I see are from what I can only tell is newer Elden Ring fans saying something along the lines of,
I like Elden Ring, but I'm not really psyched about this game.
And to that I say, you're really going to miss out. Think about what drew you to Elden Ring. So what draws a lot of people to play games like Elden Ring or lately Baldur's Gate 3? And it's the gameplay. It's just being let to play the game and having a lot of gameplay to enjoy in a fully fledged game that you don't have to pay for a bunch of bullshit add-ons or bullshit DLC or like bullshit skins or just like constantly trying to microtransaction your ass. It's so funny that a lot of game devs don't understand why people are loving these types of games. So Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, it's because they let us play. And for me, in my own personal opinion, there's two types of gamer out there. There's gamers out there that enjoy good gameplay, good fun gameplay loops that make you want to pick up a controller and play the game. And then there's another type of gamer that's more of, I just finished work or I finished whatever, I want to sit down and relax and watch something that I sometimes interact with. And I know that's a very loose claim or loose explanation of what they're actually doing, but truly there's people out there where they only care about really high fidelity graphics and like a really good story, and they literally just want to sit and watch a story that they can sometimes interact with. God of War. And that's just not the type of gameplay that I enjoy, and I think a lot of people don't really enjoy anymore. And I think that kind of game has kind of come and gone, and people are tired of it, and now they're looking for stuff that's just fun to play. Getting back to what I was originally talking about, so people who maybe enjoyed Elden Ring and are looking at Armored Core 6, then they're like, meh, I don't know if this is right for me. So this article recently came out, which hilariously was going on about how they don't feel emotionally connected. It's like, you're a fucking mechanized machine. It's like, you're not supposed to have an emotional connection with a fucking machine, dude. It's like, I hate these people that like need these like huge convoluted stories to get emotionally connected to the story, therefore motivation to play the game. It's like, you don't. You're the good guy, they're the bad guy. Make less of the bad guys. Kill the bad guys. Make no more bad guys. Done. And that's what like a lot of people are actually looking for. What I'm trying to tell people is that FromSoftware is a unique developer because they're a small Japanese developer, and they've been small for a really long time. And just up until recently, to the success of Elden Ring, they were one bad game away from like almost going bankrupt. People don't know this, that without the Dark Souls series, FromSoftware would not have the money to be able to do games like Elden Ring. FromSoftware didn't even have enough money to do Elden Ring after a juggernaut like Dark Souls 3. They still had to do games like Sekiro, which they partnered with Activision on. And Activision, if people don't remember, were in kind of like hot water at the time because they had a lot of bad PR around their company for like workplace conditions and just like harassment at the workplace. So not a lot of good stuff. Activision was just really looking to make a game that people wouldn't shit on for having a bunch of microtransactions or just being a shit game. So they probably paid FromSoftware a hot price to make a game with them. And Sekiro was a great game, but that totally is what funded Elden Ring. Going on that point, I remember when Sekiro got announced and everybody thought that 30-second teaser trailer was a trailer for Bloodborne 2 or Kuon. Like, people were going wild with predictions as to what it could be for FromSoftware's next game. And nobody could have guessed that it was like a new IP and it was going to be like a spiritual successor to Tenchu. I remember when it was announced that it was Sekiro and it was like a new IP, I was a little let down. I was like, no, I was kind of really hoping for Bloodborne 2. What's funny is that at that time, I wasn't completely sold on FromSoftware. Well, I was, but I didn't have have the full trust that I do today. And as we all know, Sekiro was a masterpiece and it won Game of the Year. And it's because it's just another great game from FromSoftware. That's what Armored Core 6 is. Armored Core 6 is not what you wanted. A lot of people are like, I wanted Elden Ring 2, I want Elden Ring DLC. They have a whole team that's working on Elden Ring DLC. Like, this is their B team. So like, that's still happening. Like, you gotta understand they have multiple teams. Not like Naughty Dog's multiple teams that take 2 years to make up some concept art for a game that should have released 3 years ago now. So Armored Core 6 it's made by FromSoftware. They haven't released a bad game in almost a decade. Arguably, Dark Souls 2, not that great, but that wasn't made by Hidetaka Miyazaki. Ever since Bloodborne, I would say every game that FromSoftware has made has been a banger, has been such a great game, Game of the Year worthy. There is one exception, which is Deracine, which is a VR kind of experiment, but I think FromSoftware are allowed to have those moments where they experiment and do random wacky games. The core games that they release are always so good, and I have nothing but faith for Armored Core 6. If you liked Elden Ring, you will probably like Armored Core 6. Yeah, it's not the same setting. Maybe you never really liked a mech game. A lot of us probably don't like mech games. I just recently played Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer, which were the two Armored Core games that Hidetaka Miyazaki directed himself. They were fantastic. It's definitely a game I probably wouldn't have played when they came out, and I didn't play, but playing them now, I'm like, okay, these are cool. I can only imagine how much better Armored Core 6 is going to be. I played 5 and Verdict Day, and those ones aren't as good in my opinion, but again, they probably appeal to more hardcore Armored Core fans from the beginning. I know this game, coming from current day FromSoftware, is going to kick ass. The bosses are going to be insane, the levels are going to be insane, the gameplay is going to be fluid and just like natural. It's going to feel good to play, and yeah, it's going to be hard. I remember when I first played Sekiro and I tried to play it like Dark Souls, and I got fucking rocked so hard that I had to rethink my approach to that game. And it took me over a year to finally come around and have that game click with me and be like, oh, I actually like Sekiro now. It used to be my least favorite FromSoftware game, and now it's up there with one of my favorites. And I believe that Armored Core 6 is going to do the same for a lot of players. You might not like it at first, but I bet you it'll grow on a lot of us. Then we'll be like, wow, this is actually a really kick-ass game.